As I get ready for bed tonight, my thoughts and prayers are with the victims out there in Jamaica. It's good to know that the government has chartered a plane in order for the residents and the citizens of the UK to return home. That's awesome. But my heart goes out to those who are facing the elements tonight. My God, help them, Father. I give God thanks for all the people who are bringing aid to those in need at this sad time. I'm telling you, like I said, my heart is so willing, but my pocket will not allow me to stretch beyond my meager income. But I know by God's grace that everything will fit into place in due course. And I mean everything. I was listening to different views today and what people were saying. And I heard something about the smart city, Jamaica Smart City 2030 that was it was put in place before this storm came. And you hear so many. I don't believe in conspiracy theories, so I look for facts. And then you've got another one called the catastrophe bond that was put in place and all sorts. So I'm telling you now, if any government or anybody is responsible for the manslaughter, because it would be a manslaughter if it have to do with a conspiracy that caused this hurricane to steer the way in which it steer. Because I know that the steering winds can steer it east, north, or west, or wherever it wants to steer it because of climate change. I've researched that, and that's a possibility. Now, like I said, this is not an act of God at all. Because it tells us in Genesis 8:22 that as long as the earth endures, there will be seed time and harvest. Cold, heat, summer, winter, day and night will never end. So there will always be harvest. And God wants the place to bloom. There's no way God was going to send a storm to wash out. And I hear people talking about wickedness and obeah and witchcraft and all that sort of thing. You understand? This is not the time to point fingers and talk about who doing what. And you see, Grandma used to say, look around yourself before you talk about other people. That's what Grandma used to say. Sorry, I was getting distracted with the music. So if, like I say, if this has to do with anything, with any government or whatever, I'm telling you now that in the Bible, in the book of Daniel, I think is chapter 4, verse 28 to 33, Nebuchadnezzar, his fall referred to his personal downfall because he brought it on himself due to pride or the fall of the Neo-Babylonian Empire to the Persians in 539 BC. You understand? So the Bible is not just a spiritual book, it's a history book as well. So during that time, the king of Babylon, he was insane and living like a beast for 7 years after arrogantly claiming credit for the Babylonian greatness. You see, when they are in power, this is what they do. And a punishment was foretold in a dream that he received from God, And his fall came later when Cyrus the Great captured Babylon in 539 BC. So how his fall happened? Nebuchadnezzar's immense pride and arrogance were the cause of his downfall. Pride, because he claimed that Babylon's glory was his own power and he was ignoring God. So I'm saying this to say that if anybody is involved in the slaughter of these 50 people or more, 30 people in Haiti, 19 in Jamaica, they said so far, so many people lost their lives because if it's greed or selfishness that caused this, somebody will pay. So what happened with Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, back in those days? He received a warning through a dream from God. So the prophet Daniel interpreted his dream, and yet still his pride continued to grow. So one day while admiring, let me turn this down a bit. Such love, I love this song. Yeah, I'm just reflecting on reflecting on the day's events and the storm, and just looking into things deeply, because I like to look from different points of view, because I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I want facts. So now one day while Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, was admiring his palace, he proclaimed his own greatness. And a voice from heaven declared his kingdom was being taken from him. Real thing. Now punishment ensued, and he was driven from his palace, and he lived like an animal for 7 years, eating grass, growing his hair and nails like an eagle feather. Can you imagine? This reminds me of Saddam Hussein when he went into that hole, and when he came out he looked like a wild animal. Yeah, they said he was a wicked king. I don't know, a wicked ruler. See, when these people have power in their hand, this is how they behave. So as a government official or a minister or whatever, you have power in your hand, if you abuse it, God will intervene. Such love. Such love. And I'm talking about love tonight because I'm spreading love to all the people out there. My heart goes out to one and all the families that are affected by this terrible hurricane. So here's what happened with this King Nebuchadnezzar now. He was restored. Yes. So after his 7-year ordeal, he reigned. Well, he didn't reign, he regained his sanity. And because he acknowledged God, sovereignty, and praised the King of Heaven. And then he was restored to his throne. So really, what I'm saying tonight is, if there's a force organizing any project called Smart City 2030, and they deliberately went out of their way to push this climate change situation and cause the death of so many people and the devastation of so many homes and lives, they will have to give account to God. You know? I love Psalm 126. It says, when the Lord turn again the captivity of Zion. Such love. I love this song. I keep rewinding it. Psalm 126. It says, when the Lord turn again the captivity of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Those who come and goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seeds, shall doubtless come again with singing, bringing his sheaves with him. God bless you. Keep praying for the people who lost their home and their possessions. Have a blessed night. God bless.